Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Goldstein from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'd like to share with you some photography tips and tricks that I use in my daily practice. In this video, I'll show you how to place images on the iPad from Adobe software Lightroom. Before we get started in the how-to, I'd like to just tell you I use my iPad on a daily basis to show patients photographs of various kinds of dentistry. For example, if a patient is interested in a fixed implant-supported hybrid denture, then I want them to see an example of a beautiful case that my team and I did together. I would not bring out hard models and technical things for them to look at initially because I think it's frightening for some patients. So what I'd like to do is show them an example of here's a before, here's an after, and the after looks beautiful, and this is something that we can do for you as well. Then I would show them the technical aspects of the case if they're interested. Since I'm using Adobe Lightroom as my browser, I don't want to be forced to use iPhoto to transfer the images to the iPad. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to go directly from Lightroom to the iPad without having to use iPhoto. The first thing we're going to do is create a folder where the images are going to be saved to, and we're going to name the folder. What I've done here is I've created a folder on the desktop because it's easy to find, and we're going to name it iPad Dental Images. This folder will later be synced from iTunes to the iPad, and I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty easy. Now open Adobe Lightroom. I'm using version 5. And in the library module, on the left-hand side, you're going to see published services. And when you click on that triangle, you'll see underneath that, it will say hard drive. Double click on the word hard drive, and you'll see a new dialog box called Lightroom Publishing Manager appear on your screen. In this dialog box, we're going to choose all the settings that will be applied to the images prior to them being exported to the iPad. So let's go through the list and add the parameters. Under description, I called this iPad Dental Images. The next box that we're going to fill out is the export location box. So here, we're going to tell Lightroom where we would like the images to be exported to. So where it says specific folder, choose that, and then you're going to navigate to the folder that we created on the desktop called iPad Dental Images. So again, we created a folder on the desktop called iPad Dental Images, and now we're telling Lightroom to take the images that we selected and put them in that folder. For file naming, I'm going to leave this out because I don't rename my files. I want each one to have a unique file name. Video we can leave out. And then the next one is file settings. Here, I'm going to choose under image format, JPEG. For color space, I'm going to choose sRGB. For quality, 80. After that is image sizing. And here, you want to check resize to fit and select long edge, check don't enlarge. And then for the pixels, we want 1920. That's going to fit the iPad nicely. And then resolution is going to be 72 pixels per inch. Output sharpening, I'm going to leave that off. For metadata, I'm going to select just copyright and contact information only, and I'm not going to use any watermarking on my images. When you're done, click the Save button, and now the Lightroom Publishing Manager dialog box is set up, and you won't have to deal with this again. Every time you want to update or add images, it will apply these settings to your images. Now if you look under Publish Services, you'll see it says Hard Drive, iPad Dental Images, and then underneath that, it's going to say iPad Dental Images, and next to that, to the right of it, it says 0. So we've set up a folder for Lightroom to sync to, which is on the desktop. The next step is to add specific dental categories to that folder. The subfolders will allow you to categorize your images, let's say by procedure. So in this example, I created 3 folders. One I called Cosmetic Dentistry, one I called General Dentistry, and the third one I called implant dentistry. Of course, you can name them anything that you want. To do this, select Published Services and then right-click on the word hard drive, iPad Dental Images, and that's Control-click on a Mac. Brings up a dialog box, and now you're going to create a published folder. And here is where you can put the topic of the folder. In this example, I used cosmetic dentistry, and then click the Create button. Now you've created a folder just for cosmetic dental images. You can do this multiple times to create different folders for the types of dentistry that you would like to show your patients. Now everything is set up for you to add images into those particular folders. To place images into the folders, simply select the images in the library and drag them into the appropriate folder. Remember, you're not really moving the images. Lightroom is just copying the metadata of the file into the selected folder. Once you have the images moved into the appropriate folders, select Publish, and Lightroom exports a copy, and this is based on the settings that we set up in the Publish Services dialog panel. And what it does is place the images in the appropriate folder inside the iPad Dental Images folder on your desktop. So now you have on your desktop a master folder called iPad Dental Images, and within that folder are subfolders with the categories that you described earlier, and in those folders are your images. And what's going to happen is on the iPad, those subfolders are going to appear as albums. So if you have one that says cosmetic dentistry, all your cosmetic dental images will be in that folder. One could say implant dentistry, all your implant images will be in that folder, etc. And again, you can create as many folders as you like, depending on the particular subcategories that you would want to show patients. The last thing we need to do is to physically get the images onto the iPad, and this is done through iTunes. So the images are saved to your computer, and now we have to transfer them to the iPad via iTunes. Connect your iPad to the computer and open iTunes. Here, you're going to tell iTunes where to sync your photos from. Click on your device, which in this case is the iPad, and a summary window will open. Navigate to Photos and check the box, Sync Photos From. Make sure that All Folders is also checked, because by default, Sync Photos from Pictures is selected, so we're going to change this. Click on Pictures and select Choose Folder. Navigate to the desktop and select the newly created iPad Dental Images folder. Click Apply, and now you're done. Now go to your iPad and click on the photo application, and you'll see each categories of folders that you created in Lightroom showing up on your iPad as albums. Click on one of the albums and all the images that you placed into that folder will appear, and they will be sized properly and display nicely on your iPad. The iPad is a wonderful way to show patients examples of your work. You can easily add or delete images at any time you want, going through the exact same procedure that I've shown here. If you have any questions or comments, please post them here on Dental XP, or if you'd like, you can contact me via email at shgdds@mac.com. Also, please check out my website for additional information, downloads, and how-to papers. Thank you very much.